Well, this is Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel. It's my pleasure to try to get into a new section here, the ultimate connection with God. So some of the ideas that we've learned before are the basics that we need in order to be able to develop Jewish meditative techniques. Let's come over here to where we're at right now, and this is a section called How to Connect. So in other words, this is practical advice coming up now, maybe some of the deeper things. And so we have to be a little bit more careful. This first part, I think, is going to be fairly simple. But as we go into it and start seeing different these techniques, which go back a long time. So the question is Jewish meditation techniques. What is Jewish meditation? This is Rabbi Mimran, Yosef Chaim Mimran. For the most part, meditations used in non-Jewish religions are somewhat similar in their technique, but their goals are totally different. One of the most powerful uses of meditation is the gain in awareness of the spiritual. Although we are surrounded by areas of spirituality, we are not usually aware of it. Spiritual sensations are quite faint and usually overshadowed by the world of the senses. Even in a state of sensory deprivation, the self-generated thoughts of the mind tend to obscure spiritual sensation. However, if a person can quiet down all extraneous thoughts, he can then tune in to the spiritual. This tuning in is what is known as the mystical experience. In this sense, meditation is the most important technique. Here we go down here, sorry. In this sense, meditation is the most important technique of mystics all over the world. Meditation can be defined as a controlled manner of thinking. In your mind's eye, you might imagine how various arrangements would look, and let's say, for example, and even plan how to move the heavy pieces of furniture. During the half hour, you will have been meditating on furniture arrangement. It is as simple as that. There need not be anything esoteric or mysterious about meditation. No special surroundings are required, nor must any particular body position be assumed. You could have meditated while walking around the block, while sitting back in your easy chair, or while relaxing in the tub. The very fact that for a specific time period you were thinking about a specific topic, rather than letting your mind wander at random, makes it a meditative experience. So he says, if this meditation is actually going to be a controlled thinking experience, then you will need a technique to rid yourself of undesired thoughts. You might gently push the extraneous thoughts out of your mind, or otherwise pull your mind back to the desired subject. Whatever method you use to keep your mind on the subject, in doing so, you will be developing the rudiments of a full-fledged meditative technique. Now, let's try a little exercise. Listen to this. The exercise by stopping to think for 2 minutes. Absolutely no thoughts for 2 short minutes. Stop reading and try it now. These are the words of Rabbi Mimran. Here we go. And that's 2 minutes. Let's go on. Rabbi Mimran writes, you can obviously see from this small exercise that the mind has a mind of its own. Some might have been thinking how easy this exercise was. However, the fact that you were thinking these thoughts at that moment already failed the exercise. There are thus 2 parts to the mind, he says. One that is not under the control of the conscious will and one that is not. That part of the mind under the control of the will is called the consciousness, while that which is not is called the unconscious or subconscious. Since the subconscious is not under the control of the will, one cannot control what it passes into the conscious mind. One of the goals of meditation, then, is to gain control of the subconscious part of the mind. If one were to succeed, one would also gain a high degree of self-mastery. This, too, is a goal of meditation. This explains why so many disciples, or disciplines, use breathing exercise as a meditative device. Breathing usually occurs automatically and is therefore normally under the controls of the unconscious mind. Unless you are consciously controlling your breathing, it will mirror your unconscious mood. This is one reason why breathing is one of the indicators in a lie detector test. Yet, if you wish, you can control your breath, and do so quite easily. Breathing, therefore, forms a link between the conscious and the unconscious mind. By learning how to concentrate on and control your breath, you can go on to learn how to control the unconscious mind. The same is true of the visions that appear in the mind's eye. Since they are not under the control of the conscious mind, they are obviously coming from the unconscious. Controlling them is very difficult without practice. One can learn to control them, though. And doing so also serves to form a bridge between the conscious and the unconscious mind. One of the most powerful benefits of meditation is control over the unconscious mind. One learns to use the conscious mind to control mental processes that are usually under the control of the unconscious. Gradually, more and more of the subconscious becomes accessible to the conscious mind, and one gains control of the entire thought process. His final vort. For the most part, meditations used in non-Jewish religions are somewhat similar in their technique, but their goals are totally different. This is Baruch Fleischman, and this has been Rabbi Yosef Chaim Mimran. We're at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel.